Hi, I'm Matthew Melinger with Brown Harris Stevens. Ari couldn't be with us today, but I think it's important that we talk about a money-saving trick for people who are financing purchases that no one is talking about. I'm talking about none other than a CEMA, otherwise known as a Consolidated Extension and Modification Agreement. Now, before we go into what a CEMA actually is, there's a few things you have to understand in terms of limitations. A CEMA is only allowed when purchasing a condo or a house, and it is also only permitted in New York State. Sorry, Florida. Co-op buyers don't pay mortgage recording tax, so a CEMA would not apply to that purchase. In New York City, for loans under $500,000, it's 1.8% of the loan amount, and for loans over $500,000, it is 1.925%. So you're paying roughly 2% worth on top of the loan at the closing table, and this can be a huge expense to a lot of people. What a CEMA does is it allows you to effectively net an outstanding balance that a seller may carry on their mortgage with the amount that you're looking to finance. You only pay mortgage recording tax on the difference between those two amounts, which can mean a lot of savings. And I'll explain it very simply using an example with $1 million purchase. Let's say you're buying a condo for $1 million. Financing 80% or taking out an $800,000 loan. Your mortgage recording tax, if a CEMA is not permitted, would be 1.925% of $800,000. This is roughly $15,400 that you owe at the closing table on top of every other closing cost, including the mansion tax, since you're over $1 million. Let's say, for example, the same seller for this particular apartment has an outstanding mortgage balance of $600,000. If you want to finance $800,000 and they have an outstanding balance of $600,000, if a CEMA is allowed for the transaction, you will only pay mortgage recording tax on $200,000. So your mortgage recording tax based off the $200,000 difference is roughly $3,850, meaning you're saving $11,550 if you are able to do a CEMA on this purchase. That's more than enough to cover your mansion tax with money left over. The only downside to doing a CEMA is that we'll add 2 to 4 weeks to your contract to close timeline, so always take that into account when you're making preparations. So if you're considering a condo or a house purchase in New York City or New York State, talk to your broker about a CEMA loan. You never know how much money you can possibly save. And if your broker has no idea what a CEMA loan is, fire them and hire someone else.